Hello everyone, I am the Halfwit Brit and this is Manor Lords, and I guess I've never felt more of a half-wit than I did from the last episode. Now, thankfully the Baron, unwittingly I think, came to our rescue, and I feel like if he hadn't done, the rest of this town would have been burnt down. So have I learnt my lesson? Probably not, but we're going to try our best to kind of repair all the damage, and obviously we're going to have lost people, so there's going to be a lot of mourning and things like that, so it's going to take a little bit of time for things to get back to normal. As you can see, there's little piles of rubble, but most of the buildings are in the process of being rebuilt. Did someone just walk off with a sheep? Oh no, that's wool. But we do have quite a few sheep now as well. That is a positive. I don't know if that means the butchers will do anything with it, but as you can see, our animal trader there has been burnt down as well, but that will rebuild in due course. But yes, a little bit of tidying up to do, I guess, so let's crack on with it. Now I'm just going to pause the game before I do too much. You can see obviously there's a lot of requirements not met. We've got goods outside apparently. I'm not too sure what that's about. I can see we have some wool here, which is quite useful, but I have no clue if the troops are still here. Now, there is that issue usually when you save, exit the game and come back, that troops disappear. The last I saw them, they were marching through here towards the Baron's troops, but as far as I can tell, they are gone, so we are kind of lucky. Now, I did have a quick save just before the final battle that we had here, and every time I replay that, something different kind of happens. And one of them, they came in and they did burn down most of the town. So yes, I think the Baron was our saviour here. So I just want to go through and click on rebuild on everything here. Let me just make sure we're on surplus. We want to be on total goods. So we do have some timber. Let me just make sure we have somebody in here. Now there's going to be a lot of mourning. We have someone in the wooden church, which we need. And we're going to need someone in here in the corpse pit as well. Actually, the corpse is still here. Ah, yes, they are. Shouldn't laugh, but they need clearing because we don't want to make people any more unhappy than they already are. Now, I suppose on the positive, we're in April and we do have some fields here that we're going to be able to harvest soon. I just want to make sure that I have nobody in these buildings currently. Now, bearing in mind we did lose our troops, which then means we lose some of our weapons. Now currently we have 2 crossbows, 1 spear and 1 large shield. So if I go into here and just double check, it's not great at all, and we currently can't recruit any retinue, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure why that is. A minimum of 5 equipped recruits is required. Right, so I guess that's to do with militia potentially, or at least the weapons. So yeah, we'll come back and have a look at that at some point, but just a little bit of tidying up. I'm going to do this without you guys watching, just to make sure everything's back to normal as much as it can be. Obviously population wise maybe a slight issue, but as long as all the buildings are ready to go, we'll make some progress. I want to get to a point where we can, is it tithe? I hate you saying that word, but basically where we can give some money to, also food to the church. It's through here, isn't it? Yeah. And that should give us some influence. Now, once we have the ability to have some more troops, we will go for any bandit camps that we can see. Because I want to get this area before he does. I want that salt deposit. We are going to be producing meat, so it just makes a little bit of sense. But let me clean some of this stuff up, and unless something interesting happens, I'll be back with you after that. Okay, I think we're in a reasonably good position. It didn't take too long. As you can see, there's still 33 corpses to be buried. I don't have any spare hands at the moment, so hopefully they don't have too far to walk. So we have the corpse bit here and a family currently in there, as we can see. There we are. Hopefully this is a full family. Let me have a quick look. Yes, so that's a positive sign. It's not just, say, you know, the wife and child and the husband is kind of lay here. Well, that could be the husband, as we say there, going across to the church. But they shall clear this out in due course. And just let me double check. Where is my church? My church is over here. And yeah, they're in the process of doing that as well. Brilliant. I've also put in another 3 burgage plots here as well, just to kind of pick up the slack until the morning is over, and hopefully more people move in. Though looking at most of these buildings, there doesn't appear to be any mourning. But when I did look, it said 5 days, but that'll take a little bit of time for those additional people to come in. If we just have a look here, there's 2 families. That's a full family. So is that actually? Have they recovered really quickly? That is quite surprising. Huh. Well, brilliant. And on a positive, I can see lots of vegetables here as well, so that is going to help the issue we have here. Now, firewood is going to be one of our next problems, so I'm just thinking about that in the long term. Now, if we quickly look before we put any buildings in, just to remind ourselves, so Emma is pretty much everywhere. We have flax, which I think we'll probably get enough of, because we're going to have wool, flax. I don't think we need to go too crazy with it. Barley, and we have some barley here, so we don't really kind of deal in any wood stuff over there. But Emma, along this road in this area is quite nice, so I feel comfortable enough, I think, up here. I mean, we've got this nice dark green at that end, but there's not much going on. We have a little bit of barley here, but I think this will be a good area. I am tempted to go for charcoal when we get the ability to do so. It's one of those weird things. Everyone still has kind of an opinion about it, from what I can tell. Like some, like, hey, it's not worth it, or it is worth it. But what I'm kind of thinking is, I've got 2 options. I can either put in several foresters and several woodcutters and just constantly replenish the area, which could be, you know, a possibility if I want to churn out lots and lots of firewood. But we'll kind of see. I mean, I'm always interested in your opinion as well. And just to see if opinions have changed, is charcoal still worth investing a point into? I'm not really bothered about any of the armor making stuff for this region, so I'm not bothered about that. Or maybe we just have one specific region that makes charcoal, and they can ship it out as kind of a supplementary thing. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I think the next point we invest, though, potentially, will be the plough or orchards. So I'm just thinking about food. The plough probably makes a bit of sense, and so does bread. So that's, what have we spent so far? 3 points. So we've got 3 more, is it? Because I think it's 6 we get. And when we kind of look at this, not many options, especially if we want to think about trade. I don't know. We'll have to sort of mess around with that as we go along. And don't forget to like the video if you're enjoying what you're seeing, and leave a comment if you feel like it. I'm always interested in people's opinions, good or bad. It's nice to have a little chat with everyone that's watching. Anyway, let's see what else we can do. We have quite a few sheep here. I think it's 18, so we've got 7. And I do believe, let's just see, we're going for 20. I might make that 18, because that will top it up, and then as they breed, hopefully then we'll start getting the food from there. And just double check the family in here, they are all actually working, so that is brilliant. So food is a bit of a worry. How are we doing for fish? So ploughing, gathering, not really fishing too much, albeit there is somebody there. The granary itself, we have a little bit of ale left. We have quite a bit of bread, but we don't have anything else. We don't have anything in here. Do we have a tiny bit of flax? Did I put somebody in the weavers? I did. So have they made anything for us? We have 21 leather, 12 wool, 6 linen. So hopefully, clothing stall abandoned. So we do have clothes in there. Let's see what these people are unhappy about, maybe. What is it that you're... Right, clothing. Yeah, because it's abandoned. Fair enough. Clothing. Church level is another thing. We can deal with that. Food stall supply. Let's have a nosy in here. Food variety. Currently bread and vegetables. So we did get some. In fact, there's 4 types of food in there. I'm just wondering if we could allow potentially one of these houses to have a market stall. So I don't like doing this in general, but I could do that. I mean, I could put another person in, the granary, couldn't I? That is an option too. But if I do that, we lose somebody. Whereas if I say they have permission to set up a market stall, that becomes kind of just a byproduct of things that they're doing. So that should be okay. But hopefully these will start to fill out slowly but surely. Does the Weaver's Lodge, they're not peddling any goods yet. I guess there's a lot of things going on. How are we doing crops wise? As we can see here, 14 of 15, 20 of 0. That's rather bizarre, but it is there nonetheless. But yeah, most of these fields are coming through. We do have a fair amount of wheat. I'm really kind of concerned just about the spoilage. I'd like some hard numbers on this, on how long it's got left, or even if the shade of it starts to change. But as soon as I make more bread, it's going to get added to this. So how does it know what's going to spoil first? Or does a new piece of bread go in there, refresh the timer? I don't know. It's rather interesting. I've decided we're going to make some spears before we continue with the crossbows. As you can see, one iron slab, one plank is one spear. So that's the entire weapon. So I think we kind of need to do that. I think we also need shields for that as well, don't we? So that's something else we need, but that's a building we currently don't have. So I've decided for the meantime with the blacksmith, we're going to make spears. I do want to make the iron parts so we can make more crossbows, but just I want to kind of top this up just a little bit more. We do currently have 2 crossbow militia. I mean, I could do this just to get this to, like, 5 or 6. Maybe that actually makes a bit more sense. Let's leave it on that. But currently, let's see how we are with resources here. So we have currently... Am I on the right one? Probably not. Yes, I am. 8 iron ore we have there. So we have some on spare currently, so I may put them in there. That will give us the ability to at least process that iron. So I'm guessing the 8 ore becomes 8 iron slabs, and that works out to be... Yes, quite a few iron parts. So that's what we want. So we're going to get double. And then, where are we now? Our bower's workshop is 2... Oh, okay, 2 iron parts. So, yeah, okay, it's fair enough. But that is that. We also need a workshop, I think it's called. What's it? I think it's called a workshop. Do we have any buildings that are level 2 that we can add something to? Because I can't remember. No. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. It is a carpenter's, a joiner's workshop. There we are. We need that for the shields as well. So that's something else to consider. Out of these burgage plots, I think only this one has the space for a backyard. So, I mean, it's a very small one, so it clearly isn't going to be anything to do with food, unless it's pigs. We could go with pigs. That's actually probably a good idea. We may do that, but we do need to have a couple more buildings. We could make this... I mean, if we take a little bit more of this area for forestry, I know we've got the woodcutter's lodge, but maybe it makes sense, actually, to have some level 2 houses up here, or burgage plots, whatever you want to call them, which we can have into that sort of processing area. Then we'd need a storehouse up here as well. So there's a few possibilities of things we could do here. And I'm just thinking about running a road along here as well, potentially, up to the trade route. But is this a good place for this? I mean, it is for the time being, I suppose. But we could also probably do with... Can we move the logging camp? We can. Do we keep them in the same area? I think we could. If we have enough... are they called foresters? I always forget their names. Let's have a quick nosy in here. Yeah, if we have enough foresters' huts, we'll probably keep this area going. In fact, it probably makes a little bit of sense to sort of think about getting one at least in place now. So I think it's nice and flat up here. If we put one there... and they kind of build out in a circle. We could do another one over this sort of side. And then as these get chopped down, we could always put more up here. I don't mind having the fields surrounded by the trees. I think that looks quite nice. And then if we just run a road through to somewhere here, if it will allow us. Or do we hook them up? Let's put one there first. And you should snap. There we are. Perfect. I'm not too fussed about how quick they get built. We don't really have the spare people as it stands. I mean, this is on the highest and they've still not done it. So is it food? Yeah, food is now higher than firewood. A little bit worrying. And we don't have anybody in here yet. So it's still trying to keep everybody happy that the food stuff is not quite there. Firewood is starting to get a little bit short. I can see another food stall actually being built. So that is actually a good sign. So just looking at the clothes here, we can see we have 3 different types because we obviously have wool, which becomes yarn. The flax has become linen, and obviously the hides have become leather. So hopefully, from a clothing point of view, even though that says 0, there's definitely a variety there, which is, it's a little bit weird why it's saying it's 0. And there is someone there peddling goods, as the lady just shouted, so maybe it's just a little bit of patience with that one. How are we getting on with the corpse removal? They're completely gone, which means I can take somebody out of there and somebody out of the church, because another thing we need to think about is the roof tiles that we need for the upgrade of the church. That's the only thing. Now, we could trade, but we do have some clay over here. Now, how are we getting on with the stone? We still have a tiny bit. I'm going to put one family in there just to get rid of that, and then we can remove that building, and then we will also ask them to build a mining pit over here. We already have a road in place there, don't we? I could build a more direct route, I suppose. So, oh wait, did I already build it? Look at that. I'm miles ahead of myself, clearly. And we have a road attached to it. Okay, well, let's just put somebody in there, and let's collect all that, and we can make our own for the time being, because we're not in a great place for trading. We do have some money, which is good news. And these are all good as well. Okay, right. Let's fast forward a tiny bit. I feel like we have a slight bug here. So you can see that there's 7 houses that are currently unhappy. And when we look on here, clothing 0. But we definitely have the resources. Same with the food. This could be a bad idea. But I'm going to demolish this. And demolish the stalls and then rebuild it. Now obviously this is going to upset people, so I probably should pause the game a second while I do it. And also we have the concern of the food rotting away. Now if I remember rightly, it's probably not going to let me put a marketplace back in here while that stuff is on the ground. No, it's not. I don't think. Let's just double check. No. Okay, so we're going to have to move our market. That's not a massive problem. We have some space here actually. We may get away. I wanted it to be near the storage, but this is not too far away, so we could probably get away with it. Let's do something like that. That's not a huge market, but it will do the job. And if it will allow us, no, we probably need to move this, but this is going to get moved as well at some point. So let's just see what happens once all these stores reappear and see if it actually makes a difference. Well, that was quick. It completely filled up. But as you can see, we've already got 10% on the clothing, whereas it sat at 0 for quite a while. So hopefully there was probably just a bit of a glitch there. We will have to put in that market again there. Unless we move this, we could have a little road through here and have another one here. But this potentially is prime real estate for one of the other industry buildings. When I say industry, I mean like the blacksmith. So potentially, yeah, let's think about moving this hitching post. Now, it depends where I'm going to move this in the long run, I suppose, but I think up here is probably fine. If we can just drop that in there. The woodcutter's lodge was still a little bit short on wood, but I think we'll be fine. There's 2 families currently in there, so I think a little bit of patience is just needed. Well, as you can already see, we're now, I was going to say down to 2 thumbs down, but it's completely gone now. Obviously it's raining, which is not good for our supplies that are here, but clothing is at 40%, food variety is at 94%, and fuel, obviously. That should now increase our approval, which will mean these houses that currently don't have anybody in should get more people in. So we was going to put in the piggies over here, weren't we? So we'll do that. Why not? It makes a little bit of sense. We don't have a butcher's, so potentially when I move this, a butcher's may make sense here. What else do we have? A saw pit, that's going to go as well. The tannery we could also move, so we could have some of the main buildings in the middle here, and then the goods can be kind of sent out whichever way they need to go. Okay, we are in August, which means I need to start thinking about getting some of these crops harvested. So I can put 4 families in there currently. That's all I can spare. I don't think they will harvest just yet, so I might have to do the old forced early harvest. So let's get a few of these in place. That one's still got 80%. I don't know if that number's going to go up actually. Let me turn that one off a second. That's 19 of 19. That's at 100%, so we can do that one as well. 25 of 26. So we'll just get some of them done because they're doing everything by hand. So that's just going to take a little bit of time, especially when it comes to ploughing them again. We currently have 2 families in there. I think we may or may not need that. Probably not. We'll take one out and put an extra one in here just initially. I know we're kind of at the kind of limits of our fuel here, so we've got to be a little bit careful, but I think we're fine. How are we getting on with sheep? We need another 2 more, because I can take somebody out of here at some point as well, can't I? So where are the people for those? Imports livestock. Someone's out there getting one currently. I'm assuming if I come out of this menu here, we have 18 wool, so that's coming through quite nicely actually. We are going to have a fair amount of clothing. Now the wood doesn't seem to be being picked up from here, which is slightly annoying. Sawpit wise, nobody. Tannery, nobody. Okay, we've cleared out most of the buildings, I think even fish. Malt house doesn't have anybody. The weaver's workshop will leave somebody in because they have a market stall, so I don't want to do that. Communal oven, there we go, is another spare person. And the windmill has nobody. Excellent. So I think all hands on deck. There's nobody either collecting any clay or stone, so we're really kind of just getting everybody that we can literally spare at this point. Hunting camp, I could take somebody out of there. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, they're at kind of a really low level, so I think, you know what, I might let the animals kind of build their numbers back up, and then we're almost at a full house in here. That is pretty good. Oh, a bandit camp was sighted, and also another ruler's army. Well, we know what's happening there, don't we? Let me just switch those ones off for a second. I think if I turn that off, will they stop ploughing? Seemingly not. Okay, let's have a look where this bandit camp is. Not that we have anyone to attack them. Oh, they're all the way up there. And where is the enemy? So the Baron, let's have a look. Okay, they're coming up from the bottom. Right, so the problem here is I don't have any retinue, I don't think. I don't know why I always click on that building. Yeah, I don't have enough people to do that. I currently have, my goodness. I have 13 crossbowmen. What is missing? Armor. Right. I'm wondering how good these actually are. I'm going to take a risk here, because why not? Let me just switch this over to spears for a second. So if we can rally these guys. Oh no, will we get there before he does? We can try. Oh. How did they end? What? Did you see that? I have no clue. I told them what? I've never seen that before. They literally teleported over here. Or did they? Oh no, they're over here. That was bizarre. I've never seen that before. Now, obviously, this is going to take some of our hands away from harvesting, which is probably not great, but it is what it is. So we'll do that. I want to get the influence. We need to have enough to start claiming for territories. So yes. Right, we're going to put early harvest on all of these. I just have to be mindful to switch that off and also change it to a different crop once they've finished. In fact, I may as well just switch this one on as well. We are short of people, but we may be okay. Let me just see where our troops are in relation. I don't know if he will attack me if we're close enough. There is a question. I'm not entirely sure, to be fair. But yeah, this retinue thing here. A minimum of 5 equipped recruits is required. Oh, do you know what it is? Pause the game. What an idiot. I have to rebuy them, don't I? That's what it is. Oh, your treasury. And I have no money in my treasury, do I? Oh, well, that's just crap. Right, because I'm not taxing anybody currently. Yep. Okay, now it all makes sense. So in order for me to do that, yep. Okay, and how much do they cost? 50. So I guess any money we get from this bandit camp, we do actually need to transfer it to my treasury, because, yeah, here is not good. We could tax a little bit. The tithe thing worries me slightly, but I guess if I put 10%, it's going to upset people. But we'll do it, because we need to start thinking about this, and we could do it upgrading a few more buildings, but I guess until the church is done, we're probably not in a place to do that, realistically speaking. This is going to be close. It looks like his troops are fairly close now. I've just got to think about... Oh, they're not running. So that is a positive sign there. But they are... Let's have a look here. So fatigued. They are fatigued. Surrounded by trees. -10. Raining. Cohesion. Oh, it's not good. But it depends who gets there first. I feel like as long as I attack the camp, I'm definitely going to get... There's a nice pile of stone there, isn't it? Sorry, it's easily distracted. I think if we get into his territory first, potentially we'll be okay, but let's click here. Now, have they moved yet? No, they're still just lingering around. How many do they have? There's a question. Enough. But there's quite a few of their troops as well, so they may go for them. Alright, it looks like they're heading towards us, even though the Baron's troops are over there. So how are we looking currently? Fatigued, moving downhill, +2 cohesion, +13. So I'm going to let them stand here. That makes a lot of sense. We'll have them at... We've got missile alert. There's no fire at will for these, so... Do we have them... What does push forward do? Try to push forward with their full force. Defense is doubled, but attack frequency is halved. Yes, let's not mess with that. Let's leave it as balanced. And let's see what kind of damage these do. Oh, there goes one. So they are fairly powerful. However, they are catching up with us pretty quickly. So, yeah. So I think this is where we... Is it stand our ground, maybe? And back off. So hopefully... Do you guys not move? Oh, here we go. Let's see. So we have 13. Okay, so they won't... Ah, that's a sausage, isn't it? I was expecting them to shoot as they back off. But if I can get my troops further away... Oops, try that again. I don't want them to run necessarily, but if we have to, let's try and get the Baron involved on this. Come on, here we go. The Baron's shooting him as well now. Perfect. Considering we don't have any retinue with us, this is probably the best way of doing it. Oh, we've just lost one. Come on, come on. Come on. You guys can do it. Make some distance. Come on. Oh, I've just lost another one. Yeah. So they're not very... I mean, they've got no armor. There is that problem. But they are slowly but surely getting shot at by the Baron. I like how he's left some of his troops behind. Shoot. Come on, guys. Fire, fire, fire. No? Oh, well, you're not good, are you? I was expecting them to shoot, but... I guess they can't do it when someone is right in their face. So let's drag them towards the Baron. Wait a minute, am I getting shot at as well? Well, where did the arrow go? Come on, Baron, do your job. There we go, thank you. And we'll go and claim the spoils. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to happen. Yeah, they're still shooting him. But they're not shooting me, which is a positive sign. I mean, it's a little bit cheaty, wasn't it? But we'll take it. There we are. And we will put this into the treasury. There we go. Well, we only got a little bit more there, I suppose. Not the best, but we'll take it. We'll send you guys back. Excellent. And how are we getting on production-wise? I was going to say food-wise, but... So, we're pretty much all harvested. They are starting to plough the fields. I'm not going to do them all. We've got plenty, to be fair. What are we looking at? 112 wheat here. 3 flax. Has some of that been taken already? 10 flax. I kind of expected there to be a little bit more than that. That's interesting. Maybe I need to plant a field. Let's have a look. Flax. I think one of these. Did I not pick one? Maybe we'll go for a bigger field. Are you any good for flax? 58%. 68. Let's put a field in here. Why not? I think... Oh, that's a road. That's not a field. Let's try that one again. And farming fields. What are we currently looking at? Emma fertility. Flax. Okay, flax is... Ah, these ones are better for flax. So let's have... That's currently barley. Flax. Flax. What about you? 83. 87. Let's... yeah, we're asking a lot of them here, I feel like. Barley. What about you? Barley. Barley. I think quite a few of these are barley, to be fair. Let's leave it at that. I don't want to give them too much to do because, say, it's all by hand currently, so not the best. And they are short of a few hands as well, so we've got to bear that in mind. Just while all that's going on, we have our 18 sheep. So when we have a quick look to see what they're doing, it says it imports livestock, but we shouldn't be bringing any more in. It says current surplus is 12, but we have 18. So how does that work? They all have names as well. Lovely. Not much is going on here that I can see, but I don't think we need to import anymore. So let's take a family out of there. I don't know what happens to that lone sheep, but yeah, that's done now. So that will allow us to put another family in there because they're going to need every little bit of help they can get. How are we doing market stall wise? We've cleared this area now, so we can get in another market kind of plot thingy. Whether we'll get any stalls on there straight away or not, I don't know, but at least we have the space. And seeing as we have a little bit of cash now, we have 196 and these cost 50 each to retinue, so it makes a little bit of sense to at least get some. There's only 3, but 3 are better than none, so there's some more troops that we have just in case. But we will get a little bit more money from tax slowly but surely, and obviously there's a little bit of tithe in there as well, so that should start to kind of increase, as should the influence as well. So that's positive. However, I am still concerned about food. Food has been really slow. Now we are going to make a lot of bread. That is a positive. Fish we currently not got. In fact, we're not building, are we? So I may as well put a fisherman's hut in there. But I was hoping we'd get... I mean, there's a lot of veg. So I suppose all this is yet to come through. So there is that. Let me have a look on here. 13 veg, 11 bread. Meat we're currently not going for. Yeah, when it comes to these points, orchardry does kind of really like tickle my fancy for this region. I think it's also the most fertile, so we have to think about bakeries, but we don't really have the points, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I suppose we do, actually, as long as we don't go for charcoal. Yeah. And then we could trade out any excess bread to the other regions. That makes some sense, I think. Now, the question here is this pasture is full. So what happens when a lamb is born? Do they slaughter one in order to keep the pasture within size? I could add another pasture in and see what happens, but I think I want to see if one gets replaced or the lamb gets slaughtered. We currently don't have a butcher's though, so wait a minute, that's a problem, isn't it? Do we have a butcher's? I don't think we do, you know. Level 1 burgers, brewery. Oh, this was going to be piggies, wasn't it? So we don't have a builder currently, so I can't put that in. Yeah, I think, do we need the butchers? In fact, I can find that out, can't I? Let's have a look here. Enables production of meat and hides from surplus livestock. Oh, yes. So we need a level 2 house that has the space, and we currently don't have one. Well, that's wonderful. Where can I pinch somebody from? I feel like this is what it is constantly at the moment, when you just need a person. Where can I take them from? I could potentially... Wait a minute. Fisherman. Maybe not the best idea in the world, but we shall do it. And this is going to be a butcher's, so it makes sense. Maybe next door, right? I guess. I mean, you could say that's a little bit kind of, you know, gruesome in a kind of a sense. But I think, it's here. Why not? We'll put that in. We have the timber to do it. In fact, we are running a little bit short on timber, so that's something else we have to consider as well. I was just actually looking at the marketplace. Let's use this one actually. Clothing. These level 2 buildings require 4. Was that always the case? I feel like level 3 just needed 3, but maybe I'm missing something there. But obviously we can make shoes quite easily. I think the clothes potentially from the linen as well. But generally, if we have the leather, let's have a quick look in here. 24 hides, 21 leather, so we're going to need another burgage plot here as well. So it explains why the approval isn't quite where it needs to be. Food variety isn't too bad. Fuel, we're kind of getting there. It's just a slow process, it feels like. But yeah, this is feeling a lot more tough than it used to. Maybe it's just the way the game has started for me. We can see someone that's just been sheared there as well. So yeah, just got to keep an eye on everything that is going on. We're certainly going to have a lot of wool. Yeah, 35 wool. So we got quite a bit of yarn. It's going to keep the Weaver's Workshop over here super busy. I was just testing out a theory here because they're all sort of working on different fields, as you can see. This one they're currently ploughing, but if I switch that up to high momentarily, and just speed the game up a second, you'll see they'll all suddenly come to this field to get it finished. So if you're ever in a position here where you've got several fields that are not quite done, if you just notch one up to high for a second, and then we'll put this one onto high as well. So as soon as that one is done, yep, it is, I'll put it back to medium. They'll all focus on this one next, as it's the next closest one. And obviously we are kind of getting to that time of the year now as well, where we've got to be very, very careful. And they've almost finished with that, so if we wait for them to do their bit, there's a few more seeds there. There we go. Put that down to medium. I think there's 2 fields currently left that I've asked them to do. Oh no, there's another one here. So yeah, they're massively behind. I think I've probably asked a little bit too much of them, but this one looks to be mostly done. So let's put that one on high, and let's get them to focus solely on that one. So this actually makes a little bit of sense. We definitely need that heavy plow, I think, because it's not working too great for us doing it this way for sure. And then we can do the same for this one because that one's not too far behind as well. Well, surprisingly, we've managed to get to the very last field, so it'll be interesting to see if they get that done in time. I am concerned about fish, obviously. We've not got anyone in here. We don't have a spare as it stands. This house is still not currently built. We need more ox, so there's something else to do. But as soon as winter hits, I think we can focus on getting the tiles for the church as well. That makes a lot of sense. So, and we also need a butcher's. What's going on there? Have I got sheep that are running away? What are you doing? Going somewhere? Oh, ooh. You're a lamb. And you're a lamb. Is this because it's full? So what happens if I put in another? I don't know if these require building actually. Let's just put in a small pasture here. I don't want it to be too big. 7. Will they appear in that field, or have I completely lost them now? Or they're going to here because there's space to hold them. That makes a little bit of sense. Right. Okay. So they're just in storage, so to speak. Okay, let's remove this this pasture here. So we definitely need another pasture. Butchers is here. I don't want it to be ridiculous size, but we could go with something like that. I mean, I say we don't want it to be ridiculous size. It's 21 sheep. And let me just quickly move this to sort of here, because I want them to collect that tree at some point, because it's just irritating me being sat there like that. And how else are we doing? Everything else. Food is still a little bit shaky there, but hopefully once we get this done we can have the butchers as well. And here comes the snow, so hopefully we manage to get a few more fish before that completely freezes over. We have 13 currently. I've put 2 families in there, so hopefully we'll get some. I've also asked for the little piggy thing to be built here. As you can see, we do have some pigs, so that will give us a little bit of meat. And I think where I've invested the points, it doubles the production. Yep, so I think it's 2 a year, but now we should get 4 a year. So it's just another little thing there that we can make the most of. And as you can see, we have a sheep in this pasture as well, so I don't know if that's one from over here. pass. Who knows? I'm just waiting to get this butcher's built. And as for the farm, let's have a quick nosy in here. Yeah, there's just 2 families in here currently, and they are going to do the thrashing, ready for making some more bread. How are we doing for bread, actually? So we've ran out. Oh, eggs! I completely forgot about eggs. See, all these little things that I've got the money to do it, and I'm just, oh my goodness. Shoot me now. Well, as you can see, we're sort of entering into spring. The snow is starting to melt, as is the ice. And food and firewood is still pretty much at a normal sort of place. It's really, really weird. I kind of expected, especially with 2 families in there, that they'd be producing mass amounts of firewood. We could put another one in there, but yeah, that's just one of those sort of things. We are still in the process of making bread as well. We have quite a bit of grain here. We have got some ale as well, which is fantastic. Actually, where are we for? Let's have a look. It's in here somewhere, isn't it? Barley? No. And what about the rye or the malt house? Wow, have they actually churned through all that already? What are the people doing? Harvesting, transporting and waiting. What would you be transporting? You're hiding in your house. I can't see. You're going to go and harvest. Okay, so maybe we've run out of that stuff already. Let's have a look in here. So we currently have 51 ale, which is not too bad. No malt. Yep, and where's the other thing we're looking for? I can't see it. Oh, wait, beyond the crops, won't it? Barley. Okay, so that means we don't need anybody in there. That fixes that problem. Fishing-wise, we could put at least 1 family in there. The tannery, how are we doing for hides? We've got 2 more, so I could probably stop that one as well. I am tempted to move this, actually, so we'd have to demolish it first, which is fine. And we can rebuild that, but not just yet. I want to, oh, I've got to wait for these to clear, so probably it makes a little bit of sense to rebuild it then. We will build that over by the actual camp. I guess that makes some sense. We could actually sell some of these sheep if we needed a little bit of cash as well. That is something. I'm basically waiting for somebody to move into here. I say someone, a family. So there's a couple of things we can do to influence that, because better approval will definitely make people move in. So we could make some roof tiles, which will allow us to upgrade the church. So I guess, albeit this is farmland over here, it probably makes a bit of sense to do it here, because this is where the resources are going to be. So we can get that kind of working for us. I would like to move. We've got 33 timber currently. Where is my logging camp? Let's move this as well. And we shall put that, let me see, over here. So we have that. If we can fit in this sort of space, I don't want to lose too many trees if I can help it. It looks like we may. 4? I can live with 4. I don't think that's too bad, and it's hooked up to the road. Let's get that on the highest. Now we have a few spare people currently, so let's put 1 in that forester's hut, 1 in that one, and we probably need more than that, to be fair. We're probably going to need another woodcutter's lodge as well. Now, I don't think it matters too much where they go, but I'm going to put one on this side just to take advantage of what we've got here. Clay, how are we getting on? Not clay, iron ore. How much have we currently got? 35. Let's take someone out of there and put them in there, which is also going to use fuel. This is the issue, I suppose you could say. And we have removed quite a few buildings. That leaves us some space in here. We're going to need a cobbler. I think it's called a cobbler. Let's double check. Yeah, cobbler's workshop. So we need a cobbler's workshop, we need a butcher's, and we need a joiner's workshop. So there's quite a few things going on there. In fact, I've just put that as the highest priority. I think we'll match that with the clay furnace as well. And there goes the bloody Baron. Nusselo. Where's that one? Right, that's this one up here. This is the one I'm after. He's certainly going for it. Unfortunately, it means we're going to have to fight him off for everything that we want. There is a bandit camp here as well, which, unless he's going for that, let's have a look. Seemingly not. I think we may go for that bandit camp. We do have a couple of retinue. Can I afford to buy another one? How much were they? 50. So we can get 5. We shall do that. So if we rally those chaps, also our crossbow militia. I think that will work quite nicely, and we should go for that camp. It's that 1,000 influence. We're getting there slowly, but not quick enough. Obviously, if you read the tooltip, settlement level being increased, the tithe, and other influential buildings. So obviously making sure things are upgraded. Now, from a level 3 point of view, we don't quite have what we need. So the roof tiles are definitely going to be an important thing. I've just realised I've just kind of got all my people together to come and take this bandit camp, and there's actually nobody here. So if I grab my retinue and just send them, we can actually just disband our crossbowmen because they can get on with doing some of the things. Slightly annoying, but nonetheless that will give us a little bit more cash, so I can take that and spend it on our retinue. Alright, the clay furnace is also ready, so I'm going to put a family in there because we do have, wrong building, we do have clay. So that's iron ore, this one is clay, so we do have clay. Firewood obviously is going to be important here. Food is coming in quite nicely now as well. The woodcutter's lodge, currently 2 in there. Did we build this one yet? Nope. And the saw pit is still under construction, so I'm going to leave the spare people we have right now and let them carry on with that. And that will be money for me. There we go, we'll take that quite happily, and we'll just bring the few retinue that we have back home, and then when they're back we'll be able to at least get ourselves another, what is that, another 4. That will do nicely. Okay, we have enough to upgrade our church, the stone church. This is absolutely brilliant news, because that's going to give us that little bit extra approval, which I guess when it comes to getting the upgrades here as well, obviously we need tiles and planks for that, but that will tick off this box. Now obviously we do need to think about a cobbler, so we could, while we're sort of here, get a burgage plot in the middle of town here, ready for that. I think we'll probably line it up like so. Yeah, because these houses are facing this way, so that makes sense. We'll build it that way. Brilliant. And finally we have a family that's moved into this burgage plot, which then needs the upgrade to level 2. Not like our builders have got enough to do before we can actually turn that into a butcher's. I was debating making that one the cobbler, but still it just makes sense with all the sheep we have, like silly amounts of sheep. Definitely tempted to trade some, but I want to see how quickly we churn through them. That's probably not the right word to use, but yeah, when it comes to the butchers, just to see. And there we go, finally that has been built, which now means butcher time. So that needs 4. Ooh, that was an interesting noise. It just needs 4 planks, so that shouldn't take too long to build. I have put in another hitching post here as well. This is taking a little bit of time. There's quite a lot of stuff to carry, so that could be why. To make sure that I've not got anyone unnecessarily in a building. So we do have quite a bit of flour still, so that does, I guess, mean that we do need someone in there. But I'm going to take a fisherman out just for an extra pair of hands to carry some bits and pieces. That can stay as a medium. That's probably going to get done pretty quickly, to be fair. But food is building up quite nicely, to be honest. We're not in a bad position. As we can see, trees are being felled for firewood as well. It's just not happening as quickly as what I'm going to say I'm used to, or what I'd expect, but either or. Yeah, it's just seems a little bit weird considering when I don't feel like we're using tons of it, but maybe we are. And there we go, our first butcher's shop. Now I could add the additional house into here, but I don't really want to do that. So what do we have? Well, we have sausages, which we can't do. But we can take a carcass and turn it into 2 meat, so we'll definitely do that. Aha, so let's pause while we just take a look at this. Pause, there we go. So, reserve. So how many sheep I'd like to leave and how many lambs? Well, I couldn't tell you how many lambs we have. Is there a way of finding out? Oh, there we go, 25 lambs. Ooh, lamb chops it is for dinner tonight. So how many do I want to keep? Do the lambs reproduce? Sorry, let me rephrase that. Do lambs grow up to be full-size sheep? I'm not sure, but I guess we could trade them. So I'm going to drop that to 5 because that's going to be a huge influx of food. Production limit. I mean, do I need to put one on meat? Potentially. We have 13 meat currently. What's the sort of, if there's any in there? Okay, it's probably all in the market, isn't it? Let's find a food stall. You don't have any meat. You do. I mean, yeah, if it's in here, it's no problem. So maybe we'll go for that, and let's see what happens in a non sort of sadistic kind of way, because that's going to give us quite a lot of hide for one, which will be good for the cobbler, and it'll also be interesting to just see how quick the food goes up. So there's we're getting a lot of wool. So where's the actual people? Do they go and grab at the sheep? Oh, there we go. Getting an animal. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I'm just interested to see. That to me looks like a full-grown sheep. Oh look, there's 3 of them are going for it. I'm guessing it happens inside. Yeah. Does the sheep just disappear? Oh, yep, that answers that question. The sheep vanished into thin air. Just let me just double check. Yeah, I probably don't want to kill my sheep, which is potentially what's just happened. I think I had 14. Yeah, we've lost a sheep. Probably going to lose a few more sheep as well. Storage wise, yeah, there we go. So we got 4 meat and a hide. Perfect. Well, that's fixed that issue. And we have put this house in here as well. Excellent. That was going to be the cobbler. And what else did we need? Another house. I don't know if I want to build that just yet, but let me just tweak this road. I think is it Alt? Yeah. Let's just rebuild this a little bit better if we can, just to give ourselves a little bit more space. I would have thought that would have hooked in there quite nicely, but I guess not. There we are. So we've probably got space there for 2 burgage plots, to be fair. But I'm mainly waiting for this to happen. But I've been recording for about an hour and a half, and I think we're in a good place. And I think this is where I'm going to end it. I'm actually really happy with where we got up to. Let me just tell the retinue that they can go and rest for a little bit, if I can remember how to do it. Where's the disband? There we go. But I think if it wasn't for the Baron, dare I say, and I'm going to pause that because that is a beautiful view, we wouldn't be where we are now, and that's that's quite disappointing, really. But especially when we're going to go and kick his ass later on. But anyway, on that rather glorious note, until next time, take care.